Well, well. That was a fiery interview last night. Spicy. You know, I'll just be honest with you. Old Bret Baier's been a bit of a never-Trumper. And I'm going to say it. I thought that they had made some kind of deal and he gave her them questions. But I have to say it appears he didn't. Because she seemed woefully unprepared for some of them. You know, it's always funny to see somebody that you detest crash and burn. But I was particularly fond of this last night. You know, Bret Baier asked old Kamala Harris, says, you've been going around saying that Trump's mentally unstable. But I'd like to know when you first noticed that Joe Biden was unstable. When did you first notice that?
But
you call Donald Trump.
The significance
you
of that.
call Donald Trump. He's misguided. You say now
he's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room. And he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but
is.
You talked about it.
And Donald Trump
after George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand.
Well, here's another interesting little factoid. You're on the ballot too. Yeah, you're on the ballot, and you said that man was stable. This goes to your credibility by way of saying you have none. You have no credibility. You know that had to burn. It had to burn. And that's just the beginning. It gets better. Wait. You know, Kamala Harris got real animated about Donald Trump and the enemy within. And I think it's important that we hear what she has to say about that.
I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you...
That was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which...
You know what's a funny thing? Donald Trump comes out and says the people that are running these fiery but mostly peaceful protests are going to be stopped. They're not going to be allowed to do it no more. And the people that's coming after him and weaponizing federal agencies to maliciously prosecute him are going to be looked into. Well, that's just turning on the American people. I'd like to ask you, which administration was it that just signed a bill saying that the military could open fire on American citizens? I think it was the Biden-Harris administration, wasn't it? Which administration was it that's weaponized all these federal agencies and sent prosecutors from the DOJ to go work in the office in New York and in Georgia to concoct cases that are not cases? Let's just be honest. They're all going to be throw down on appeal. We just watch the judges in the appeals process question them for a precedent for what they were doing, and they couldn't give him one. Couldn't give him one. One instance where somebody had been tried for fraud when nobody was defrauded and everybody made money. You know, they questioned that guy from Deutsche Bank, and he said, we were never going to keep the loan from him. We were going to give him the loan. It wasn't based on the value of his property. It was based on the fact that he had had 20 loans with us, and he paid them all off at interest. We just wanted some collateral. That's all. Come on now. Come on now. Now, let's hear what old Joe thinks about all this stuff.
Same guy with 3 other major cases waiting for him, and he loses. And by the way, 34 felonies. So far, he hadn't got sentenced. He got the sentence kicked back, but I want to watch that sentence.
Oh, he's going to watch that sentence, huh? He's going to watch that sentence. It ain't like you called all them people in and told them to make a case against that man. I don't care if you have to make it up. Sort of like old Stalin. Show me the man and I'll show you the crime. That's what they did. They weaponized the justice system to destroy a candidate that they knew they couldn't beat, that they had to cheat to win last time. And then they sign a bill saying that the military can fire on the American people so they can activate them when we decide we don't want to take them stealing it again. Now, who's illegitimate here? I think everybody can see it now. She went on there thinking she had an ally in Bret Baier because he's been a never-Trumper, a rhino. But she miscalculated. He's also an American, and I think everybody is starting to see the danger in letting these people continue. Just a thought.